Hello traders, welcome to Zion Traders. So today it's actually Monday and it's a new week. I'm super excited to welcome you all to a new week, right? We'll be analyzing EURGBP for today. And before we get started with the technicals, let's take a look at the fundamental perspective, right? So going to Forex Factory, we can see, first of all, we see that the US government data may be delayed or impacted by the shutdown. The government is actually currently on shutdown. So last week, NFP, which is non-farm payroll, was supposed to be released on Friday, but then it wasn't released simply because of this shutdown, right? So a lot of many segments of government section of the US, they are actually on shutdown currently, right? So looking at Euro, we can see that ECB president speaks. So this one, there's nothing like, there's no forecast and no data is going to be released. It's just the president that is going to be speaking, right, addressing some issues, right? So, but we can see NZD official cash rate is going to be released, right? So this is the previous, which is 3%, but then the forecast is actually 2.7%. It means that there's an expectation of a rate cut, right? That's for NZD, right? NZD has actually been very bearish for a very long time. I don't know, it has been bearish, so it's still going to continue bearish, really. So we can see that JPY, BOJ, which is Bank of Japan, government is going to be speaking as well. FOMC meeting for USD this week as well. Unemployment claims, ROBA and the like. So we have non-farm employment change. So it's going to be an interesting week, really, because there are a lot of high impact news which is going to impact the market, and this will cause what high volatility in the marketplace, right? So, but then let's go back to our technicals and see what we have on technically, right? So this is Euro GBP, right, on the weekly time frame, and right on the weekly time frame, I had to zoom out so you guys can really see what's happening or where we are currently, right? So you can see that this very zone, price came to this zone and then sold downward, right, previously, and the price came back into it, right? That was in April 2025, and then reacted off it and sold again, right? However, we can see that this said that it caused, it actually a retracement that it caused, right? So, but we are still at this particular zone again, right? So, although we are bullish on the weekly time frame, but then we are at a very critical zone where price can also, that can send price to retrace aggressively, really, right? Same way it did previously. But then we are still very bullish, really. So, but then this is what I have on the daily time frame. So here on the daily time frame, we can see that we had a change of character at this point, and then a break of structure bearish at this point. And right now, price has returned back to this order block, right? So at this level, and we can see that price is reacting off this level already, right? However, I want you guys to take note of a particular zone in the market, right? So look at this zone. Price has refused to break out from this zone, right? So this is actually something that we should take note of. However, it doesn't mean that it has invalidated our market structure on the daily time frame. The market structure on the daily time frame confirms it's obviously bearish, but this zone, price has refused to take it out. We can see price came to it right here. It took it out with a wick, but then not with a candle body. It means that this zone is a very strong zone, right? However, we can see or continue to look for sell at this particular point, right? Personally, I'm on a sell trade already. So we are looking at still selling, most likely a retracement, really. But then if price decides to continue bullish, that's fine. It's understandable, really, seeing that the weekly time frame is bullish and also price is rejecting off this particular level of zone, right? So this is actually what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at selling Euro GBP. I've actually sold immediately price got in here, but then I got stopped out on break even. But then last week, Friday or Thursday, right, I took on another position again, and then I'm looking at riding it to around this point, right? So this is what I'm looking at, and this is what I'm currently on Euro GBP. If you want to get in, make sure you apply proper risk management, and that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.